Sometimes YouTube can be loud and misleading, and I've seen a ton of creators who build their entire channel or their videos based off of someone else's system, someone else's goals and lifestyle, and it just doesn't fit who they are. We all know that YouTube is about being consistent, but too often small creators will build bad habits that create inconsistency. I think sometimes the loudest voices we see online are just pushing us to these short-term tactics like just hook better, like write a better hook or post more shorts or follow this trend. I think sometimes that just is a little bit overwhelming and just bringing in the short-term tactics that aren't going to have the longevity that you're going to want in your channel. And that advice might work, but only if it's going to match up with your strengths and what you're trying to build for your life and your YouTube channel. I think a lot of times as creators, we start with tactics or think about like, what camera do I need? What lighting do I need? Instead of aligning, what do I want to do with my life? Why am I here? Why am I trying to make YouTube videos and build a channel? Instead of aligning, we think about all the tactics and how we're going to do this and how we're going to make the video and the process itself. You can do everything right and still burn out if you don't have a system that actually fits you in your life. And I know for me, this has led to second guessing my ideas, skipping uploading the videos, and eventually quitting and just taking 3-4 weeks off because I'm burnt out on it. It's not fitting who I am. And not because I wasn't good enough or my videos weren't good enough, but really it's just because my system was kind of broken down. I didn't have anything set up from the beginning. And so I was just trying to pull out these trends and these things that I've seen other people do. And instead of building that system that's going to work for me, I just kind of brought everything else in, and that burnt me out. So I love this quote by Steve Jobs where he says, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." And that's what I'm all about on this channel. I don't want to teach you guys how to do someone else's channel or even my channel or my system. I'm going to show you what I'm developing. I'm going to give you, all the insights I can, but you have to be able to do this for yourself. You want to be able to live your own life and not try to live off of someone else's success in their channel. Okay, so let's start with your system. YouTube success is all about alignment. It's all about having everything you do aligned, building a workflow, a channel structure that supports your life. You're not stealing it from anywhere. You're kind of coming up with it on your own. You're building this alignment into your channel, and that's how you're going to start building your system from the beginning. So before you think about thumbnails or titles, I want you to answer a few of these questions. Firstly, what kind of creator do you want to be? Not just what your niche is, but like what kind of creator you want to be. Do you want to be someone who's hyped up? Is that natural for you so where you can memorize what's going on? You can be super excited and engaging just verbally and with your facial expressions. Are you going to be like that? Are you going to be more down to earth, pretty chill? What's your vibe going to be? What kind of creator do you want to be? Because you have to match it to who you are. Otherwise, you're going to burn out. The second question would be, what kind of life am I building around this channel? I feel like we all know that building a YouTube channel and trying to build a business out of it is because we want to get out of the 9-to-5. We want to get out of the rat race. We want to be able to build something sustainable that we enjoy doing, that we're able to talk about and share and teach the things that we love. And maybe that's not for everybody. Maybe that's not for you right now. Maybe you just are trying to build a channel because you just enjoy it. It's the creative outlet for you. And that's great too. You want to think about what kind of life am I building around the channel? Because eventually, even if you're just doing creative outlets, you're going to stop doing that. You're going to stop using it if it's not built around what you want. And so then the other question would be, how much time and energy do I actually have to give weekly? So this is going to be different for everyone. Right now, I'm trying to upload 2 videos a week. That's what I can do with my time and energy at the moment. It's definitely hard at times to be able to get all the editing and everything done and the videos planned, but that's what I've committed to. And I'm trying to see that through for 90 days at least, if not 6 months. That's really what my goal is try to do that for 6 months straight. You have to be able to judge that for yourself. What kind of time and energy, how much time and energy do you have to give to that every week? So here are some other things your system should include. A clear mission. So how do you get a clear mission? You ask yourself, who am I helping and why? That's going through and figuring out who is the exact audience you're trying to help and why you're trying to help them. What do they need and why are you the person to help them? What do you have to offer? And I think a lot of times, I'll just speak candidly here. I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough credit. We feel really insecure, like we're not in a position to be able to help or teach or do any of that. And that's bullcrap. Like the reality is there's so much that you have learned and experienced in life that you can give to other people. You just have to be one step ahead of them. Like I'm building this YouTube channel about growing YouTube. And right now I only have 60 subscribers. Now Now I have another channel that has 1,000 subscribers and, close to 100,000 views in the last 6 months. So there is growth there, but I'm not, that's a totally different topic. And it's not really trying to build a business off it. It's just more just catching trends. So that's not really what I'm talking about. But for me, like I have 60 subscribers here. I'm just one step ahead of some of you guys who are just starting your channel out. And I'm trying to relay some of the things I'm learning when I burned out after 4 weeks and had to like reveal and really look at myself and figure out what I'm doing. I'm just trying to reveal some of that stuff. That's what you have to do, is get a clear mission. Who am I helping and why? Answer that for yourself. And then another thing is a weekly rhythm that you can actually sustain. That's a big thing for me, is trying to figure out what is a weekly rhythm that I can sustain. And that's what I've implemented into my system. And then batching, or a workflow method that, protects your creative energy. I've talked about that in previous videos, but you got to know when you have the most creative energy. You got to know when you are most excited about shooting and filming and writing and editing, and you have to tailor your workflow throughout the week to that. And I would say batch edit, batch video, get like as much done in those times as possible, because then you won't burn out. You'll have that energy to go, and you'll be consistent. You won't end up like missing out on a video that you wanted to schedule. So with that being said, I think you don't need to go viral. It's nice when you have a video that pops off, but the reality is you need a channel that compounds over time. So just think of that way. Think of setting up your system. Think of setting up your weekly workflow, how many uploads you're going to do, and just stick with it for 6 to 12 months. Stick with it. Just keep going, build up that library. Don't worry about the videos, the views, and them going viral at all. It's great if that happens. It speeds up the process a lot if that happens, but if it doesn't, just keep going and build that, and it'll compound over time. And as Mark Twain says, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. And so if you haven't started yet, here's your chance. If you're still watching this video and you're hearing me talk right now, start your channel, get it going, just get started, move forward, and do one video at a time. Your first videos are going to be your worst videos. You're just going to develop that over time and build 1% better each time. Get started. All right, now we're in the nitty-gritty of building your system, which is the why, the how, and the what. Let's figure out how to build that system. Once you're all aligned, you've gone through that process, you figured out like your mission and like who your audience is, it's time to build that system. So step one is the why. What's the deeper reasoning behind your channel? You've kind of done that a little bit, but let's answer some of these questions. What is the life you're designing around this channel? Okay. Obviously, a lot of times we don't think about that. We think about what we're going to make in the channel, what videos we're going to talk about, what topic it is, what niche it is. If you're wanting to make YouTube full time, you're wanting to actually make money off of YouTube, you have to understand what life you want and what are you designing your life to be around that channel. Because obviously, if that's going to eventually take over your income and be a part of like how you make your money, your life is going to be designed around it. So you have to think about that. The next question would be, what problems do you love solving and talking about? This is a big one. I think you got to find something that you love just talking about and that you love solving problems, because the big thing is we want to solve problems. If you're building an education channel, like if sometimes you can build a channel that's just about entertainment, but for me and my audience, you're not going to be probably entertainment channels. You're going to be more educational channels where you're teaching something, you're trying to coach people or help people learn something. That's most likely who's watching my videos. When you're doing that, you're solving problems. So what problems do you love to solve? What do you always gravitate toward? And then what do you love talking about? What could you go talk to a friend about it at a coffee shop for like an hour or 2 hours, and you can just keep talking about and rambling about it and have all these ideas. Find that thing. If you haven't already, that's a great indicator on something that could be your niche or the channel, theme or base or foundation of what you want to teach or talk about. Find what that is and hang on to that. Another question is, what do you want your creative work to help others accomplish? So we've talked about that problem solving, and we talked about wanting to help our audience. So what is that work that we're going to do? What are we going to show? What are we teaching that is going to help others accomplish? What are they needing to accomplish? So you got to think about the needs of the audience and what they need to accomplish, and that'll help you design your workflow around that and around your channel that way. So here's a key thing that I wrote down in my notes, and that is to don't build your channel based on someone else's success. Build it from your own convictions. That's been hard for me as I've tried to build this channel. When it first started out, for the first 3-4 weeks, I was looking at the success of other channels that are, maybe not huge, but they're getting a lot of growth in the last 3 months. And it's really hard to not try to jump on some of those trends or do some of the things that they're doing, because it's not necessarily built off of my own convictions or built off of, my personality or what I need to do. And so I would really say, just from me, I tried it a little bit. It was hard. I felt like I couldn't keep going with it. It burnt me out a little bit. Really think about your own convictions, what you want to do with your channel. So that just brings up another Steve Jobs quote, which is the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And so if you could take away one thing from this video, it's that try to find something that you love to do and just go after it. Step 2 to building your system is the how. And that really is asking the question of what's your unique way of delivering what you're talking about and the message you're talking about. What's your unique way of delivering it? Do you teach? Are you a gifted teacher? Or is that something that you do regularly? Do you tell stories? Do you love to like figure out what the angle is and bring a story into what you're talking about? Or do you like to break things down visually? Think about some of these things. How are you going to deliver your message and what you're talking about on your channel? Do you thrive in structure? You know, if that's the case, maybe you need to use a teleprompter. I feel like when I use a teleprompter, it seems robotic and I don't do a great job at it. So I don't use a teleprompter. I just write bullet point notes down that I just talk with. And sometimes I'm looking at it like this and I'm reading it. And honestly, like that just feels natural. It doesn't bother me when someone looks at notes and they're talking to video because I want the value. It's not about them being a newscaster and like reading from teleprompters. So don't feel like you have to use a teleprompter. It's okay to look at your notes while you're doing it. Or are you just more conversational? There are some YouTubers that are incredible at just being conversational. They might even not have notes. They just can talk and they can just talk about it really well and succinctly and not just ramble into a million different directions. So figure out how you handle that. And that's a big part of your delivery. And then what pace of content can you realistically maintain for 6 months? What can you do for 6 months, not quit, not, mess it up and just decide to stop or miss a few here and there? What can you actually sustainably do over 6 months? Figure out if you're batch filming. I would say definitely try to batch film. It's good to get it out of the way. It's good to get those filming days as small and as little as possible so you don't have to do that multiple times a month. So try to batch film. If you don't like the feeling of doing it one after another because you're not ready for the next video, then space it out. Try to set up your filming day to have some space and time and film a video and then take 30 minutes and look through your outline and your script and whatever else for the next video to get your mind in the right place. Then film that and then so on and do that throughout the day and try to get at least 2 or 3 videos filmed in that day. That will help you out a ton. And then also, using templates or building that weekly rhythm and that kind of stuff. These are things that are going to help you build that system and figure out how you're going to do that. So step 3 of building the system is kind of the what part of it. And that's really like asking what's your actual deliverable. So your product, if you're thinking about YouTube and you're trying to make money on it, especially your product is the video itself. Even if you have another business, a part of it, and you actually sell products, the product of YouTube is the video itself. And so every part of your video and your process and your system to create videos on your channel should have that in mind, that the video is the product, not necessarily what you're selling or what your business does. That's the video for YouTube. So titles that align with your video's value are key, not just hype. They have to align with the value of the video. Descriptions need to be clear and serve the viewer. So not all just sell and links and trying to get people to buy your affiliate, links and that kind of stuff. Like it needs to be valuable to the viewer. And then the thumbnails obviously have to match the visual tone of your channel. So that's something you got to figure out. You can't necessarily just mimic. Obviously you can take inspiration, but you got to know the tone, the visual tone of your channel, and you want your thumbnails to kind of match and fall in line with that. So one of the thoughts that I wrote down was that your videos are assets, not just uploads. A lot of times I just think about it being uploaded. And even in my other channel that's actually got some growth to it, it's just an upload. It's like something I want to talk about. I'm just getting up there and moving on. It's done. We need our videos to be designed to serve the right people over time. Basically, it leads them to our bigger mission, which might be an email list, a course, coaching, or digital products, or whatever you're going to sell eventually. We need the videos to be thought of. You need to think of your videos as assets and how do they point people to your bigger mission as you're trying to grow the channel. As a new channel, it's not as important to know that because you don't necessarily know what you're going to do sometimes. You're going to have a lot of different iterations along the way that adjust what that bigger mission is. But if you do happen to know it, try to think about each video as an asset toward that and not necessarily just a uploaded video that you needed to get up. Try to have some of that formation around that. Okay, so here's one other quote that I just love for this, and it's a goal without a plan is just a wish. If you have a goal to build a YouTube channel and to grow your channel, but you don't have a plan, then you're just wishing it happens. You're just hoping. You don't really have that system in place. So I'd encourage you to grab that system, make it, go through this video, redo it, write notes down, and start asking yourself these questions to develop the system that'll help you be sustainable over time, not burn out, and make effective and high quality videos. Hey, if this helped you rethink how you're building your channel, click this video here and don't forget to subscribe and like, and also comment below on what your why is behind your channel. I'd love to hear about what's driving you to build your channel. So leave that in the comments below. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video.